Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the IAS initiative brought to you by Classic KS and IAS Study Circle. I am your faculty Amoghavarsha R. Today we are going to analyze a current affairs topic. So this current affair topic, the name of the current affair topic which we are going to discuss today is coronavirus, that is COVID-19. This current event has dominated all other current events in the year 2020. So this current affairs will be very important for your KS mains examination, IAS mains examination, and also all other examination as well as upcoming examination, for instance your 2021 IAS prelims also. So let us understand this topic in detail. Let us first understand why this name has been given to coronavirus. Is this the first coronavirus in this world, or were there other instances, previous instances of coronavirus, and what are the symptoms, what are the various drugs, what are the vaccines being developed to tackle coronavirus? All these things we will discuss in very deep detail. So let us move forward. So this is the coronavirus. We will explain it in detail today. So what's in a name? Why the name coronavirus? Why coronavirus? How did this name originate? What is the history of the name? So the virus gets its name from the shape. This virus is having a crown-like shape, friends. Because of this crown-like shape, this virus gets the name corona because of its crown-like shape. So in Latin, corona means crown. Latin, corona means crown. You might have observed the pictures. This virus is having crown, something like this. Because of this crown, it gets the name corona. And in Latin, corona means crown, because that is the background behind the name coronavirus. So as you can observe in this picture, these are the crowns. This is the crown, this is the virus. Because of this crown, they get the name corona. In Latin, crown means corona. Let us move forward. So, is this the first coronavirus? Is this the first coronavirus? The answer is no. There were previous coronaviruses also. For example, there was SARS coronavirus in the year 2002. Then also there was this MERS, MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus. Severe acute respiratory syndrome in 2002, and MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, in 2012. There were previous coronaviruses also. It is and coronavirus, as you know, it is a zoonotic disease. Now what is zoonotic disease? Zoonotic in the sense, these viruses resides in animals and birds, and this virus spreads to human beings from animals. That is the reason zoo as in from animals. So this MERS was residing in camels, Middle Eastern, right? So camels, it spread to human beings from camels, and SARS spread to human beings allegedly from bats, the animals, bats. So there were other coronaviruses also earlier. This is the third coronavirus. So earlier people used to call this COVID-19 as SARS-2, because earlier there was SARS and this is the second SARS, but the official name given by the World Health Organization is COVID-19. COVID-19 means coronavirus, coronavirus disease 2019, because the first case emerged in December 2019, coronavirus disease 2019. As we already discussed, it is a zoonotic disease. Zoonotic disease means humans get infected by this virus from animals and birds. So this severely affect the respiratory system, the lung system, the breathing system of human beings. So where did the COVID-19 origin? So it is not proven yet, but it is alleged that this coronavirus originated from infected bats. Human beings mishandled this infected bats' blood. From the blood of bats, coronavirus, COVID-19, emerged. There is a market, animal market in Wuhan. Wuhan is in China. From this market, from the infected blood of bats, it is alleged that COVID-19 emerged. So the first case emerged in December 2019. Now let us look at this Wuhan market. This is the Wuhan market. It is alleged that the first case from the blood of the bat emerged from this Wuhan market. This is an animal market. Moving forward, if you ask me where is Wuhan, this is China. This is a map of China. In this province of Hubei province, you can find Wuhan. So from here, the first case of COVID-19 emerged in December 2019. So people say coronavirus COVID is a pandemic. So let us understand what is the meaning of pandemic in detail. Apart from pandemic, there are various other terms like endemic, outbreak, epidemic and pandemic. Let us understand the differences between them. So now let us understand what is the difference between endemic, outbreak, epidemic and pandemic. Let us take it here itself. Let us take the term, first of all, endemic. What is endemic? You might have studied in biodiversity, some certain animals will be endemic to certain regions. For example, Nilgiri tahar is endemic to the South Indian region. Endemic means a disease will spread or disease will have an outbreak in a small amount of area, maybe couple of towns, a district, a taluk or maybe a state itself. This is endemic. It happens only in certain amount of geographical area. Now let us understand what is a outbreak. In outbreak, the number of cases increase rapidly. Not only hundreds but thousands of people gets affected by the disease. That is the term, that is the meaning of the term outbreak. Now let us understand what is epidemic. We did endemic, outbreak. Now let us see what is epidemic. In epidemic, the disease spreads not only in a small geographical area, it spreads very quickly. The number of cases like outbreak increases very quickly, but it spreads to various other areas, various different states. It might even spread to countries. From India to China, from China to India, from India to Bangladesh, various other countries, the diseases will spread. It's called as epidemic. Now let us come to our important term, what is a pandemic? In a pandemic, the disease spreads to several countries. For example, COVID-19 has been spread over 180 plus countries. This is called as pandemic. So COVID-19 is a pandemic because it is spread over countries and continents altogether. So COVID-19 is spread over 180 countries, hence it is called as pandemic. So this is the Wuhan from where the COVID-19 originated. So you need not remember the number of death cases or number of people affected. Just for a context I have given, when I looked at it yesterday, the confirmed cases of the world are 54 crore. 50 crore people are affected with COVID-19 today. You need not remember these numbers because they are rapidly increasing day by day. As you can see, they are increasing. The number of cases are increasing. So you need not remember these numbers. So let us see how does this disease spread. When a person coughs or sneezes, the droplets from his mouth, the droplets from his respiratory system comes out, and when an healthy person comes in contact with these sneezed droplets, these infected droplets, that healthy person get infected by COVID. So the disease spreads in humans via exposure to the respiratory secretions, that is small droplets from the nose of the infected person or the mouth of the infected person. This is how the disease spreads. Moving forward, see, a single sneeze of a person will produce 10,000 droplets, and in these droplets the infected virus resides. So if these droplets land on surfaces, the virus will survive for 24 hours on a cardboard. It will survive up to 3 days on stainless steel and plastic. This is the reason the doctors or the scientists tell you to wear mask and gloves. Moving forward, these are the symptoms, various symptoms of COVID-19. The symptoms are very much similar to common flu. Cough, fever, headache, tired, chills, sweats, body aches, difficulty in breathing. If it reaches an extreme level, the person can also die. What is the treatment? As of now, there are no vaccines for COVID-19. As there are no vaccines, we are using medications to suppress the symptoms of the disease. And the incubation period of the virus will take 2 to 5 days. And for the symptoms to even show, it will take something between 3 to 18 days. In the worst case scenario, up to 18 days, there are no symptoms. The infected person will not even know that is infected by COVID. That is the reason this COVID-19 is so much dangerous. So once the test takes place, once that person is confirmed that he is infected by COVID, he will be sent into quarantine or isolation. This should be isolation. So what is the difference between quarantine and isolation? In isolation, you will usually be kept in a room in your homes itself. In your home itself, you will be kept in isolation. There won't be the support of doctors, nurses, medications, etc. You will be kept in home itself. What is the meaning of quarantine? In quarantine, you will be kept at a hospital under the proper surveillance of doctors and nurses. You will be given medications, and if you are having breathing problems, you will be given respirators. You will be kept under ventilators, and if the patient is under severe trauma, you will also be shifted to ICU. This is the difference between quarantine and isolation. So what are the drugs? As of now, there are many drugs, but the frontline drugs which is being used to suppress the symptoms of COVID-19 are hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin. This azithromycin is used as an antibiotic. This is an antibiotic, whereas this hydroxychloroquine is commonly used for arthritis and malaria. So these drugs are used to suppress the symptoms of COVID-19 patients. This is the drugs: azithromycin 500 mg and hydroxychloroquine 200 mg. This is used for arthritis and malaria, and this is used as an antibiotic. So vaccine, there are a lot of efforts worldwide by the scientists to develop a vaccine to coronavirus. Before even understanding what are the various vaccines and mechanism, how the vaccine itself functions, let us understand a concept called as antigen and antibody. Both of them are proteins. Your antigen is present on the surface of bacteria or virus. So consider this to be a bacteria. On the surface of bacteria or virus, there exists antigen. These are antigens. Okay, these are proteins. And when this virus enters into the body of human being, this is a human being, this virus having this antigen will enter into the body of the human being. The human being's immunity system will detect this antigen and it will generate something known as antibody. So our human being's immunity system will generate this antibody against this antigen, and this antibody will bind together with antigen. It will fight the antigen and defeat the disease. This is the concept of antigen and antibody. So antigens are present on the surface of the bacteria or virus. Both antigen and antibody are proteins, while antibody are produced in response to the antigen. Antibody is produced by human beings' immunity system. The moment coronavirus enters the body, our immune system will produce the antibody. Hence, it is called as antibody. The antibody will bind to the antigen and destroy it. This is the mechanism of antibody and antigen. It is to understand this concept it is very important to understand this concept if we have to understand the functioning of a vaccine. So this is an antigen. Antigen, as you can see, these are antigens present on the surface of the virus. This is the antibody. Antibody is produced by human beings' immunity system. Antibody will bind to the antigen and fight with it and destroy the disease. Now let us understand what is a vaccine. Vaccine is a biological preparation. Understand the keywords here. Vaccine is a biological preparation that improves the immunity to fight a particular disease. So what happens in vaccine? Vaccine, what is the content of the vaccine? In your vaccine, they will usually use a weakened or killed form of diseases. A weak form of coronavirus, a weak form of flu is put in your vaccine. So we call it as, vaccine is called as biological preparation. In vaccine consists a weakened or killed form of disease. This is injected into the body. This weakened form of disease in the form of vaccine is injected into the body. For example, a weakened coronavirus is added to the body. When this virus, what did we discuss? Virus contains antigen, right? Your virus contains antigen. So when this weakened virus is added into your body recognizes it. Our immunity system recognizes this, and against this our body will develop antibody. Antibody is developed, and this antibody will fight this antigen, will fight this weakened virus. And this fight, which is fight against the antibody or the weakened disease, it will keep in its memory. It will keep in its memory, and the next time when a real disease attacks the person, that antibody, our immunity system, will remember this fight and release antibodies. This is the concept of virus. So how do that was the concept of vaccine. So how do vaccines work? Vaccines reduce the risk of infection by working with the body's natural defenses to develop immunity to the disease. So what does the vaccine consist of? Your vaccine consists of weakened or killed form of diseases. And this vaccine, against this vaccine, our immunity system will develop antibodies. Antibodies will be developed, and these antibodies will fight against the germs, viruses and bacteria. This is the way how the vaccine functions. Moving forward, usually it takes over 10 years, at least 10 years it takes to develop a new drug or a new vaccine. So let us understand what are the various phases in development of the vaccine. In the first phase, so let us first understand the various phases. There is preclinical testing, there is phase 1 safety trials, there is phase 2 extended safety trial, there is phase 3 efficacy trials. Finally, the approval will be given by the regulatory bodies. So let us understand one by one the different phases. In the first stage is called as the preclinical testing. In this preclinical testing, your vaccine's efficacy will be tested on animals like mice and monkeys. Like mouse and monkeys. So in this stage of preclinical testing, the vaccine's efficacy will be tested on mouse and monkeys to see that whether their immunity system, their immune system will develop any antibodies or not. In the phase 1 safety trials, this vaccine will be tested on human beings. A small group of human beings will be given the vaccine in the phase 1 safety trials to see how the body will react, how the immunity system will react. In phase 2 extended safety trials, hundreds of people will be given the vaccine. Hundreds of people will be given the vaccine, but these hundreds of people will be split into multiple groups. For instance, say children, elderly people, just to see how the vaccine will impact the different age groups. Finally, in the phase 3 efficacy trial, the vaccine will be given to thousands of people. This vaccine, in the phase 3 trials, the vaccine will be given to thousands of people, and if more than 50% of the people given the vaccine recover from the disease, it means that vaccine is very effective. Finally, based on the report of all these trials, the regulatory body will decide whether should we give approval or not. Coming to the vaccine development, what is the status of various vaccines being developed? According to WHO, World Health Organization, more than 150 plus laboratories or companies are developing various different vaccines. So more than 150 plus vaccines are in the development stage. But there are some front runners like Moderna Incorporation. They are in the final. So all the vaccines are now at the final stages, phase 2 and phase 3 of the trials. So this Moderna Incorporation of USA, this is an USA company, it is testing its vaccine, and it is said that its efficacy is 94.5%. So it is having a very good efficacy. Then there is another company called as Pfizer. Pfizer is also an American company. It is also developing its vaccine. Coming to Indian company, there is something called as Serum Institute of India. Serum Institute of India is located in Pune. It is testing the vaccine of Oxford coronavirus vaccine. So the Oxford people have developed a vaccine. Serum Institute of India located at Pune is testing this vaccine. This is also in the phase 2 and phase 3 trial phases. Finally, we are also having Sputnik 5. We are having this Sputnik 5 of Russia. They have also developed this vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, and they are also in the trial phases. These are the various vaccines in development phase. According to Serum, they are thinking of launching it somewhere in January. It will be in market. The COVID-19 market of Serum will be in market in the January 2021. So these were the in detail discussion about coronavirus vaccine. So we will meet you in the next class. Thank you, students.